Look who I found. Look who I found. What's up? I thought I'd show you the shoes right off the bat.
Whoa.
The Zinals.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Or even you know. Top of Tories with Robbie. What's up, Robbie? Good to meet you and his father-in-law. There he is, Chris. So, GoPro's not working, but we got the phone. You're doing some serious running, man.
Yeah. Spending the summer up here doing the Colorado Crush.
Yeah.
So Leadville Trail Series, marathon, and then I ran the Colorado Trail 50 miler, and now we're gonna knock off all the 14ers before the 100.
That's amazing. You are serious. Basically, I want to go to sleep right now.
Me too.
Well, good to meet you.
too, man.
Keep crushing.
Yeah, likewise.
And you want to give a shout out to your friend
Yeah, man.
who watches?
Oh yeah, Paul. How are you, buddy? I know you're gonna see this.
Thanks for watching, Paul. Oh man, it just continues. Chris, right? No.
Yeah, Chris.
Chris from Long Island. Thanks for watching, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Good run.
And you just signed up. What'd you just sign up for?
First 50 miler.
Amazing.
Can Lakes 50
Nice.
this October.
Go get it, man.
Thanks.
Awesome. And yeah,
We're doing a marathon to warm up.
I love it. I love it. Well, let's
start watching.
Let's get that picture.
Yeah.
Little GT action on a Monday. Woo! Real quick, what shoes you in?
I'm in the Dynafit Ultra 100, and yeah, won these at a race. So they're yeah, so far so good. You know, maybe not my favorite shoe, but testing.
Out of France, right?
Yeah, out of France.
Shout out to the French.
Yeah.
Let us know if you're watching in France down below with a French flag in the comments. So
Yeah.
there they are.
Dynafit, pretty burly, good in the rocks.
There you go. All right, that's it, everybody. We will see you in the studio. There it is, into the studio, back from the mountains, seeking a little beauty up there with Joseph DeMoor. Good times, and shout out to, yeah, you know what, we met another gentleman. A shout out to Joe on the way down. Joe, thanks for saying hi. Sorry I didn't get you in the vlog. But here's the deal. The hardest training week of my life. Today's Monday, you're watching this Tuesday, so I'm talking about last week. Yeah, the hardest training week of my life. So I didn't wear my t-shirt today. 1985, all right? That's my shout out to actually down below, 1985. Were you born in 1985? Shout out to all the, 36-year-olds, 35-year-olds out there, depending on, would it be 36 and 37? Anyway, 36-year-olds. So here's the deal. It's amazing. There's no way, and I told this to Joseph on the way up or down, I said, there's no way I could have trained like I'm training right now 5 to 6 years ago. So I would have been, 30 years old, 31 years old, 5 to 6 years ago. No way. I would have either ended up injured, overtired. I don't know. I know myself well enough that in order to get to this point, and I'm going to share the numbers with you about what I did last week, but it's not about the numbers. It's about communicating with all of you. Consistency and patience. Consistency and patience, all right? Building up, not just that aerobic engine. You know how much I love that aerobic engine discussion. I'm going to say, frankly, more so with respect to approaching the most challenging week of my life with respect to training is the durability and the adaptation process of the ligaments, of the tendons, of the muscles, of, in my case, the bones and the bone density. Remember, so injuries, here we go. I had a lot of stress fractures all through my life. I don't know what the deal was, but I just had a lot of stress fractures, and those are very debilitating injuries. They're short. They're usually like 6 to 8 weeks. You can overcome them, but man, you cannot run through a stress fracture. Trust me, I tried, and it didn't go so well. So the key, again, consistency and patience, which has led me to this point of arriving at the biggest, the hardest training week of my life just last week as a 36-year-old. And now, just to be clear, to connect it, I know I'm communicating to you, and I appreciate you listening, following along on Strava, but to connect it back to you, I am not encouraging you to seek out the hardest training week of your life, okay, or the hardest training month of your life, or anything like that, okay? It really does come down to experience, to goals, to even just your mental health and your personal drive. I frankly can't wait. I can't wait to be in my 50s and 60s with respect to just going out for a run with no goal in mind, like no race in mind, just going out for a run and just enjoying running without that necessarily as much like competitive, drive. Like I'll be racing when I'm in my 50s and 60s, I'm sure of it, but at the same time, there's a nice, anyway, just keep that in mind as you're discerning like where you're at in your running journey. Well, for me, I have ambitious goals. I'm trying to track down some good things in about 6 weeks from now at Pikes Peak. But I got to put in the work. And I said this on the top of Pikes Peak during the most challenging training week of my life, 7 days ago.
We cannot expect different results if we keep doing the same training, the same things on this earth. We have to do things
Well, there you
different.
have it. I cannot expect to run faster, run the same time up and down Pikes Peak if I do the same training as I did last year. So that's why just last week as a 36-year-old versus what I did as a 35-year-old in 2020, that's why I'm pushing myself. That's why you're seeing some pretty intense vertical, some pretty intense volume on Strava. And here we go. 130 miles last week, which is not my highest volume week ever. I did 140, was it 3 times or 2 times? Woo! Getting ready for Naples. No. Getting ready, I think, for Toledo. I think I did 2 back-to-back 140-mile weeks, but without the vertical. So this past week, the hardest week, 130 miles, I believe like just under, so 22,000 something. Here it is, just under 23,000 feet of vertical gain. That's pretty serious. I definitely have never, I think I've gotten over 20 before once, but well over 20,000 feet of vertical gain. And then time on feet, again, I don't know if I've ever hit, what was it? I think I was around 25 or 26 hours for moving time. So that's pretty solid as well that's pretty solid. But, as you know, it really did it comes down to that weighted vest, wearing that weighted vest up and down Pikes Peak, building the leg strength, working on the power, especially through my ankles, my Achilles tendon, and then of course hitting the gym as well. So it wasn't the most difficult week with respect to, hitting the track for mile repeats, but as far as time on feet, I'm going to say just, the vertical gain, kind of the pounding on the legs, the downhill, you can't forget about that. What goes up must come down. And right now, I am, no doubt, I'm tired, but I'm confident. So this week's going to be 120. Next week's going to be about 90 to 100. So I'm actually already it's amazing. But Pikes Peak, 6 weeks away, roughly, I'm already starting to come down. And yes, next week we'll start to chase down some fast running up in the 14ers. All right, so that is the game plan, everybody. And again, I always want to apply it back to all of you and your journey. New runners, definitely don't seek out the hardest training week of you. I wouldn't recommend that. That's when injuries happen. It's taken me 22 years, 1998. Am I doing 97, 98? I do believe. When I was in 7th grade, 97, 98, right around there. So we're looking at, 23-ish, 22-ish, 24-ish years of running to arrive at this point. Patience, patience, consistency, and patience. I love you all. Here we go. Comment of the day. Shout out to Philippe. Thank you, Philippe, for being a member of the channel. Here we go. He says, connected to Solomon yesterday. Haven't bought any Solomon shoes this year. Just waiting for the Ultra Glide to be available for purchase. Just the way you describe the shoe, I know it's going to be a hit for me. A softer midsole and wider toe box primarily. Thanks, Solomon, for listening. I couldn't agree more. I think Solomon is listening. I know, I don't know who they're listening to exactly, but it's definitely happening in 2021, which I think a lot of us mountain runners are grateful for. Thank you, Philippe. You get it. Here we go. Question of the day. What was the longest stretch of healthy running that you've ever had? Okay, so, well, yeah, was it hopefully it wasn't a month. Was it a year? Was it 10 years? Was it six weeks? Like, I had a lot of injuries, just a lot of, so that's the question of the day. And why do you think you stayed healthy during that time? Okay, hopefully it's a long time. And right now I'm riding an 18-month wave of good health in running the highest volume of my life. And again, I think it's that adaptation that just takes time for your body to get used to. So there you go. I'm calling it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll toss it to the weighted vest run on Pikes Peak last week. Right there. Weighted vest run up and down Pikes Peak right there, which really made last week the challenging week for me. All right, see beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.